Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. And today we got what could be a long one. Well, it depends. This is from Unpopular Notes. This is the most disturbing police interventions of 2023. We're gonna see how this goes, because these could go. It's 45 minutes to video, so this could go an hour and something. This could go 50. It just depends on how I decide how much involved I am. Alrighty. Are you guys ready? Of course you're ready. Let's go.
In a world where we rely on law enforcement to maintain order and safety, there are moments that shake our trust and challenge our perceptions. 2023 saw its share of chilling incidents that raised eyebrows and ignited debates worldwide. Today we delve deep into 5 of the most disturbing police interventions of the year. Viewer discretion is advised, as some of the content may be distressing for certain audiences. Let's uncover the truth behind these harrowing events.
Okay.
The sleepy neighborhood.
This is way low for 5 incidences. Incidents. I'm saying it right.
Of St. Thomas Square settled in for a chilly night as the hustle and bustle of downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma continued on without them. For all intents and purposes, January 5th was due to be a night like any other. Unfortunately, all of that would change just before the clock struck midnight. Inside an unassuming apartment, something happened that would shake St. Thomas Square residents to their core, and made the night of January 5th one that they won't soon forget.
I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. Please. I'm so sorry.
At 11:43 p.m., the Tulsa Police Riverside Division responded to a frantic 911 call from April Lita. By the time police arrived, firefighters and the MSA paramedics were already on the scene tending to the victim, 9-year-old Xander Lita. Xander had suffered multiple stab wounds to the chest by none other than his own sister, who remains unidentified due to her age.
Why? Hold on. What possible reason do you have in your mind to stab a 9-year-old? You have to be not right in the head to stab a 9-year-old. You have to not be right in the head. You have to either have a fucking really bad blackout moment. You gotta have a fucked up moment in your head mindset. You have to have mental health problems. You can't be right in the head if you're to murder a 9-year-old. Especially your own family, but like in general, there's no scenario I can see where you would want to do that unless you are a sick, weird fuck, or just someone clear mental health issues.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
How old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
In this chest cam footage of the incident that was released in May, you get a first-hand look into the chilling event. After escorting the teen out of the house and placing her in handcuffs, police began to gather evidence to better understand what happened just minutes before.
Where's the knife?
I was upstairs in my room and I threw it out the window and it's down into the apartment right here.
You threw it where?
I threw it out my window upstairs.
Right
not
up here?
right there. It's the room. It's the other room. It's right behind the apartment. This apartment right here.
Judging by what happens next, it seems that her mother has received information at the same rate as the police, despite being in the house when it happened.
Or where would the knife be? On that side?
Right behind. Yeah. I'm so sorry, Mama.
In normal circumstances, you might think that someone who would commit such an act would be prepared for the consequences that follow. That appears to be anything but true of this teen girl. She repeatedly pleads for forgiveness from her mother as well as the cops who have taken her into custody, and even goes as far to imply that it wasn't her that drove the knife through her brother's chest multiple times. You won't believe what she blames the violence on.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. It's some demonic shit. I'm so sorry.
What's your mom think?
According to the teen, she believes something demonic came over her to cause her to do what she did. A
Listen.
plausible theory if you...
Listen. Okay? Listen. As ridiculous as it sounds, she still has to take responsibility, but it can't be ruled out. A demon can't fully be ruled. A demon's a entity, okay? A demon is an entity that will mess with your ass. Mess with your mind, mess with everything. Demon's a dangerous act.
You believe that sort of thing given the nature of what happened, but this is far from the full story. The teen continues to sob, plead, and beg for forgiveness as she does her best to assist the police however she can. In an attempt to gain more insight, the cop asks the teen if she has any cuts on herself.
Do you have any cuts on you?
I do.
Where at?
On my arm.
Which arm?
Both of them. My left one is just small cuts.
Did you cut yourself?
Yes.
She admits that she does have small cuts on her arms, but it's not what you might think.
Is it just those? Those look old. Are they old?
This
Oh,
one
those-
and this
yeah,
one,
those are a little-
This one, those are old with like.
Do you have any
The
new?
one that's brand new. This is brand
That's
new
from
one.
today?
Yes.
In addition to several new cuts administered with the same knife she used to stab her brother, her arms appear to have several older cuts that have already healed. This signifies that she may have been having these issues for some time, though there's no concrete information at this point. The plot thickens. As the
You'll never get the full information. We will never fully know what's going on with her because they of her age. She's 12 years old. They'll never fully reveal everything at that point, unless they do when she's older, but I doubt it. I don't think that's how that works. But she definitely had some bad mental health issues. I'm just trying to figure out, like, is it that she wanted to take her own life but couldn't do it, so she took someone else's? I'm trying to figure out what does her mental health towards herself, where she's cutting, lead to her taking someone else's life? That's what I can't figure out.
police officer goes to put the teen's cuffs back on. Her mother joins them. She's beginning to show signs of worry for her daughter, though still very, very confused.
What's gonna happen with her? I need to go to the hospital.
I don't know yet. You go with the hospital. We'll come and talk to you, okay?
You can tell April is torn between her two children that she loves very much, but ultimately goes with Xander in the ambulance. She does.
Of course you go with Xander. If you didn't go with Xander to the hospital, you know how bad that would make that mother look. You choose the person who stabbed your son. You chose the listen. I get it's your daughter, but no, your son is the more important one here. He's the most innocent. He's innocent as all hell. He got stabbed from his sister who he loved. He probably loved her to bits, did not think anything of her. I'm baffled at what happened. I'm baffled by this. How did this happen? I don't get it. How does this happen?
Tells her daughter to stay calm, promises she's going to figure out what happened, and leaves.
What happens, just be calm, okay? I don't know what happened tonight. But we'll figure it out. I have to go be with your brother. Make sure he's okay.
I don't know what the I did. I'm so sorry. I love you.
Throughout all of this, she's continually apologetic and fears she's going to jail. In the relative silence of the car, she divulges a little more information that will send a chill down your spine.
It's okay, it's okay.
Really screaming, and I didn't know what to do, so I just ran out, and then I came back because I was scared.
If what she says is to be believed, the teen doesn't even remember engaging in the act. She only remembers the bloody aftermath and the fear that struck her when she came to her senses. At this point, her claim of demonic possession was starting to hold some water, and then we get an almost touching exchange between an officer and the troubled, terrified teen.
Will I be in jail?
Right now, let's just, calm down a little, okay? I don't know what we're gonna do right now, alright? But right now, we're investigating.
The cop attempts to calm the girl down without allowing her to form unrealistic expectations. She's already admitted to the act, they have the weapon, and things don't look good for the young girl. Still, there's kindness in the officer's voice as he does his best to get her to relax.
Take a deep breath, okay? I know there's a lot of things going on right now. Just take a breath.
I don't know why I did it.
Just take a breath. Let's not think about it.
After a while, you might forget that the subject of this video is a middle schooler, a child who had their whole life ahead of them just hours before. However, a later exchange recontextualizes the situation.
Am I gonna be able to go back to school?
Huh?
Am I gonna be able to go back to school?
I don't know yet. Right now, I'm just calling people. I don't know when.
Imagine you were at school I don't know when this happened. January 5th. Hold on, let me go back. Hold on. I'm gonna find out when. What day was, I can't believe I'm actually doing this, but I have to know. What day was January 5th? January 5th was a Thursday. What? This is in 3 a.m. 3 a.m. Was it like midnight? Midnight? Just over midnight? 1 a.m. 2 a.m. on Thursday? Could you imagine if you were at that school that day? Could you imagine how much this messed up the whole damn school? I could never imagine what would happen if I went to school next day. Because that would be the top. There would be no other way to not, like, you couldn't have the people not focus on that. It would be the center of most talked about thing in that school. Especially a middle school? Who?
Possibility. Yes, I don't know. I can't answer that for you, alright, Jen?
This 12-year-old knows she's in trouble and she can't see her future past a set of iron bars as she sits in the back of a police car. Her words and the sounds of her voice breaking as she speaks to them are utterly heartbreaking.
I just want to say goodbye to all the people.
Say good. Where are you going?
Jail.
You?
It's up to someone that's bad.
Oh.
That's really bad.
Let's not think about that, okay? Let's not think about that.
Then her fears shift to how her family will see her after the dust settles.
My mom won't want me to live there anymore.
Mom loves you, okay? Your brother loves
They
you.
won't trust me anymore.
They wouldn't be able to trust me anymore. More heartbreaking words from someone who's grappling with an act they can't believe they committed themselves. As she's only 12, the officer then explains that she's too young to go to jail and would more likely end up in a juvenile detention center for an unspecified amount of time. While this conversation is happening in the police car, Xander has reached the hospital and been rushed into surgery. Unfortunately, his wounds were too severe, and his small body just wasn't strong enough to survive the attack. Xander later passed away just after 2:30 a.m. When the body cam footage picks up the teen, now officially a murderer, has just reached the Family Center for Juvenile Justice.
We'll get you out of those handcuffs.
Imagine when she finds out. Because let's say her story is true. She at least let's not go with demon. Let's say she blacked out. Because I've done this. I've not done this bad. But I've done it in the moment where I black out and don't remember what happened or why I did something. I have a story I could tell involving this. I had a moment where I was angry and had anger and jealousy towards an ex. Ex lived in the same apartment building as me. And my anger and jealousy caused me, because if I get super angry, I black out. It's a thing that happens with me. Lucky enough, it rarely happens. But I blacked out on that night. Woke up, or I came to, at her place, downstairs, because I was at the top floor. She downstairs, outside her place, with her hand on the doorknob. And I came to. I had to go leave the building. No, I didn't have to move out. I had to leave the building because I couldn't be there that night. I couldn't. I left that night, went to a family's place because I was worried for myself because that was a bad situation. When you don't remember, you fear kicks in. Fear will be messed up, and you don't realize the trauma you can cause for another person. I caused her, the ex, a lot of trauma. We lucky enough are talking now, but you cause trauma to a lot of people you don't know. She doesn't. If let's say that's what happened, she blacked out, and in rage, it's not even at her brother, just in a fit of rage, of blackout rage, where you are not control of your actions. She just stabbed her brother. And now she wakes up. She comes to. Right, let's say I don't know full story. I'm gonna paint a picture in my head. She comes to, sees her brother's body, realizes a knife's in her hand, she's covered in blood, comes to the realization of what happened. Drops the knife, screams. The mother comes to, sees what happened. Well, she throws the knife, screams. Mother sees it, calls 911, and the girl actually has no memory of what happened. She just knows she did. when she is in that, when she realizes that her brother is gone because of her actions, you will never see she will never be able to look at herself the same way. She'll never be able to think herself the same way. Her mother won't think of her the same way. She has changed the lives and mentality of a lot of people from this one night action.
Justin. This is me. Let's go through that door right there.
A quick peek at the officer's phone shows that the time is 3:52 a.m., over an hour since her brother's passing. After calling someone to be let into the building, the teen had her handcuffs removed so she can use the bathroom, and the detention center staff member has a brief word with the officer who got her there. The subject of this conversation, the now deceased brother.
I've got everything for her.
Some young.
We're gonna leave it on just for a bit. How was she over here?
She was asleep. She was good.
Does she know?
No, she doesn't know. I'm not telling her anything yet. Okay, I'll let you do it.
I understand.
She hasn't been informed of the result of her attack, and the officer is handing her over to the detention center staff to break the news to her. Given that she's only just started to regain her composure, we can hardly blame him for wanting to give her a few more moments of peace. The staff member takes over the chest cam, and we follow her now as she leads the team through the next steps of the process.
Your mom's here too. They just pulled in. Okay? I'm gonna kind of walk you through everything, and we'll just go from there.
I wasn't aware this was a thing that happened. I'm not aware that they hand the camera over to the person in the detention center so they can finish the process and the camera films it all. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just didn't know this was a thing. That's a great idea. That way they can't make the person who's in it can't really say something happened that didn't happen. It's a good move. I just didn't know it was a thing that happened.
And we'll just hang out in here for now, okay? Well, we're gonna talk to your mom first, and then we'll talk to both of you at the same time. Okay?
Another cut in the footage, and we're now with the police officer questioning Aprilita. It's difficult to discern at what point in the night this occurred, but the officer states that Xander is receiving care and breathing when he walks in. With that information, it's safe to say that this conversation happens before 2:30 a.m.
Okay, so right now, he's breathing. They're doing everything they can,
Yeah, so this was done before he passed. This interview was done before. I love these type of videos. I just didn't think it would come from this channel. But I know one of these stories is going to be too hard for me to do. I thought this, you'd think it's this one, but for some reason I'm too cold-blooded for this one to be the one that affects me. This one is insane just because the video is, this one's just because of the situation itself. You have to imagine every perspective, but the thing, I couldn't imagine what this woman's going through. I could not imagine what this woman is going through right now. She's the mom of a child who's not yet at this point, but is about to pass away, and the child of a murderer who attacked her own son. What does she think? Her brain's going 400 miles an hour. She doesn't know what to do. I can't blame her.
I was just talked to the doctor, and she was saying it's all good things right now.
Oh my god, okay.
So
both my kids tonight.
Over the next several minutes, the distraught mother provides a little more insight into the dynamic between Xander and his older sister, as well as what happened earlier in the night.
Like grudged over anything.
yeah,
Not like her. Like it's like they bully each other like brothers and sisters, but they never like fist fight or do anything like that.
So this
It was
is
just
completely-
He was in bed. He was trying to sleep. I don't know why she went down there. Like what the hell was she? I don't understand any of it. All I know is I heard him screaming. The worst scream ever, and I thought maybe he was having a nightmare, so I started trying to wake him up, and there's blood everywhere. And he said, she stabbed me. I was like, no. And he started going in and out of consciousness, and so that's what they told me to put him on the floor, do chest compression.
According to April, what happened was completely out of character for her daughter. She never displayed any violent behavior, so no one could possibly have seen this coming. One statement April makes here stands out because it echoes something her daughter said back in the police car.
I mean, they don't really get along that great, but I just never would have assumed she'd do something like that. It's crazy to me. Like, she was like, I don't know why, it was crazy, I don't know. She doesn't even curse, like, I don't know. This is his own sister, you know, that he will never forgive her. She will never, it will never be, there will always be issues now.
The rest of the footage consists of the officer filling out the search warrant form for April to sign, followed by Xander's father and other family members arriving to comfort April. The final words of the footage sum up the entire night.
She thought that he was just having a nightmare until she saw the blood.
Okay.
So, shit.
For many months, there was total silence regarding the case as police collected evidence and conducted their investigation. Speaking with Chris Cuomo on News Nation, Lita revealed that the attack is believed to be the result of a medication issue that caused a manic episode to manifest in her daughter. The teen had been taking an unspecified ADHD medication for 5 years, but stopped because she moved from public school to homeschooling, a much easier environment to focus in. She went back on the same medication a year and a half later, and this is when the negative side effects began to manifest, such as irritability and self-harm.
You can't not take meds and then just take back meds again. Like, there's nothing. You can't do that. It's not, that's, your body won't react well. Now, I'm not sure, I'm not gonna say that them doing that caused the episode itself, and like, it wasn't anything to do with the meds themselves. But I'm pretty sure her going off them, going back on them, probably didn't help.
He was taken off the meds again at that point, but it seems that the damage was already done. The attack was completely and utterly unavoidable. Or so it seemed. In that same interview, April Lita reveals a piece of information that will shock you.
To say in terms of explaining how it got to that place?
No, all I know is she was having thoughts of stabbing him about 2 weeks prior. She reached out to a few of her friends and told them.
What? Hold on, listen here. Now, I don't know how middle schoolers think. I'll never know how middle schoolers think. Because I was in middle school once, but I was stupid as shit. I don't know how many, but if I was in middle school, I don't care who you are. If you send me a message going, I want to stab my brother, and you said that more than once, I'm more into someone being like, hey, even if I don't know what to do, I'm gonna be like, hey, my friend is saying this, what should I do? Because you think, I know the thought process, where they probably think they were legit. If you said it once, I wouldn't think you're legit. I probably wouldn't. If you said it more than once, I'd get concerned.
And unfortunately, they were maybe afraid to tell the parents or me, but they did not, so I had no idea that she was having those thoughts.
As of now, April Lita's daughter remains in police custody, where she's being treated as the Tulsa Police Child Crisis Unit continues their investigation. No charges have been levied against her at this time. A few days after the event, a neighbor came forward to offer April a few words of advice. Be strong, keep your faith, and just don't give up on your daughter. Don't give up on her at all.
Oh, that'd be a hard one to not do that thing. I guess, yeah, your daughter, it's at the end of the day, it's still your daughter. So maybe it's a hard thing. But if I was the mother, that'd be so hard to do. To keep that, but just like keep supporting her, that'd be so. But if it's a manic episode, I guess in their mind, I don't know how I couldn't put myself in her situation. That's the one person I can't put myself in their brain. Because if the daughter, I can imagine being in a manic episode. With the boy, unfortunately, I can figure out what happened if I woke up to just my sister stabbing me. Unknown, and not realizing that I was going to be like, that she was taking my life. But I could not imagine being a mother in this situation. I wouldn't know what to do with that when it comes to support. Maybe y'all have a different opinion. I want to know. What do you think? What would you do in the situation? Because I don't know.
The senior year of high school is supposed to be an exciting time in any person's life. It symbolizes growth, a transitioning from children into adults who will enter the world and do great things. This is 19-year-old Alexi Treviso. Known for being both an excellent student and cheerleader, Alexi seemed like she was on the right track to a wholesome, fulfilling life. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Due to a lie that got out of hand, her life's trajectory has been forever changed. She won't be having the ideal senior year experience. She took that, as well as her promising future, and threw it in the garbage. Literally. On January 27, 2023, Treviso was taken to Artesia General Hospital by her mother, Rosa Rodriguez. The purpose of the visit was an extreme back pain, a chronic illness Treviso had unfortunately suffered since childhood. However, what was initially intended to be a run-of-the-mill hospital visit became anything but. After being admitted to the emergency room, Treviso was asked a standard array of questions in order to gauge what was ailing her. Among those questions was she pregnant? Treviso adamantly denied being pregnant, just as she'd spent the previous several months doing. Despite her denial, the hospital conducted a lab test that would eventually return with an undeniable rebuttal to her claims, the confirmation that Alexi Treviso was in fact pregnant. She still insisted that she wasn't and couldn't be since she wasn't sexually active. Unfortunately, her lie wasn't addressed in time. In the middle of her examination, Treviso announced to her mother and the doctor that she had to use the bathroom urgently. Hospital surveillance footage shows Treviso scampering towards the bathroom, covering her backside with her hand. Treviso locks herself in the bathroom and several minutes pass by. At 1:48, Alexi's mother goes to check on her but returns to the room without her daughter. Another 10 minutes passes. Hospital staff takes turns knocking on the door to make sure she's okay.
I knocked on the door and I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Yes, I'm fine. I'm just having a hard time going to the bathroom," is what she replied.
After a while, I started hearing, so I probably checked on her 2 or 3 times, I'm not exactly sure. And then I just kept hearing paper towel dispenser and flushing and like the water running.
Time passes as Treviso remains locked in the bathroom.
How long do you leave someone who's not trapped in before you start to get in the how long before you actually open the door to look and see what's going on?
After roughly 20 minutes, the staff begins to worry that Treviso is doing something to herself after learning she's pregnant, so the key to the bathroom is brought in to unlock the door. The door is unlocked at 1:58 a.m. and the teen exits the bathroom after a tense 20 minutes. What she left behind was unlike anything the seasoned hospital staff had ever seen.
All I saw was like blood everywhere, like on the walls, on the toilet. It just looked like horror film.
We didn't know what this blood was from. We were a little concerned that maybe she had, known that we were gonna figure it out and that she might have harmed herself or something in the restrooms without wanting to go check her, but obviously that wasn't the case.
It looked like a horror film, according to one member, complete with copious amounts of blood spattered on several surfaces of the room. It's immediately clear that Treviso was attempting to clean up the mess she made, but her doctors were more concerned at the sheer amount of blood that appears to have been lost.
Doctor said she had a miscarriage?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said it seems, essentially, like, I'm not sure the exact words, but she said, it seems that you've suffered from a miscarriage, which didn't seem totally abnormal. It seems awful miscarriages, but they're very bloody. And so...
was she bloody?
Mm-hmm.
Like her legs?
Yeah, she had blood all down her legs, and then there was like blood in the bathroom everywhere, so...
Where exactly was the blood and how much?
It was a good amount. It was like on the floor.
As Treviso receives aid, the hospital's cleaning crew is called in to sanitize the bathroom as well as the blood trail she left behind. However, when it came time to throw out the trash, she noticed that the trash can was slightly heavier than usual. Despite cleaning buckets upon buckets of blood, the most horrifying thing this cleaner saw was yet to come.
And so I started getting the trash out, and then when I did that, I seen that there was a baby in it. And that's when I freaked out and I called Lori and HT, or the nurses up front, and because there was a baby in the trash. And the baby, when I looked at it, the baby was wrapped up like in a, like at the bottom of the trash can, and with trash on top of it, in a trash bag.
A baby boy discarded in the trash and covered with soiled paper towels and a plastic trash liner were found. Devastatingly, he was not alive. The cleaner is horrified by the discovery and reports.
I did not know this is where this was going. Oh my. This is a tragic story. I was not prepared for this one, I'm sorry. My body does not know how to react to this right now. This young girl whose life has changed in multiple different ways. She says she denies being pregnant, so either she was sexually active and didn't say anything because she didn't want her mom to know, or she was raped, and that's why she's pregnant. And then she went in the bathroom where I guess she gave birth, or I don't know what happened.
Her findings immediately. Treviso's doctor is called in to see the scene with her own eyes and takes the body into another room for examination. At that point, the police are called in. They're filled in on the situation by hospital staff before escorting the doctor back to the room to break the news to Treviso's mother.
The first thing, though, is I need to make sure that the mother, the woman who delivered the baby, is medically stable. I don't know if she delivered a placenta. She's bleeding a lot. I just got her accepted to Loveless, so I need to get her up there as soon as possible. Okay. We discovered a dead baby in the bathroom. Oh my gosh.
It came out of me and I didn't know what to do, Treviso says to her mother once the truth has been revealed. As more details are relayed to her, Rosa Rodriguez is horrified.
How big is the baby?
It's full term.
What?
The doctor calmly explains to Treviso and her mother that due to the circumstances, the police will need to be involved, and you can almost hear Alexi's world come crashing down.
I'm sorry about this, but in terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
Nothing was crying, Alexei says repeatedly, implying that the baby was already deceased upon delivery. The autopsy of the child would eventually claim otherwise. Reality sets in as police and detectives detain Alexei, which prompts her mother to question her daughter herself.
Where did you put the baby at? Tell her the truth. You put it in the bag?
Yes.
Yeah. And what bag? Why didn't you say anything to us? Do you want to get in trouble for this now? You could get in trouble for this.
Mom, alright, just give it time, okay?
Seeing a potential issue arising not only due to the mother's anger but the stress that it puts on her weakened body, police move to prevent Alexei's mother from being in the room with her. A cop enters the room to let Alexei know what's going on.
Okay, I know you're scared, I know everything else, okay? As of right now, I cannot allow your mom to be in here with you, okay? So, once the detectives get here, then she may be able to come back in here, but as of right now, I can't allow her to be back in here, okay? If you need something, we're not gonna stay in here, okay? Because I think it makes it worse that we're hearing you, alright, obviously. And I know you're scared. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stay.
Here's what I say to you. I mean, I'm literally, this is what if you're a young woman and you've been sexually active to the point you got pregnant, don't do this. Don't do this, because this is a case of this is two different situations. If you're just having sex, that's it. If consensually, if you're having sex and you get pregnant, don't do this, because well, yes, your family, your parents, your mom, and the mom in this case would be angry. Right now, her mom is more angry of what she did than she was pregnant. Her mom is not angry that she was pregnant. She might have been if she found out, but her mom was not there because she was not also angry because she was pregnant. Right there, her mom was angry because of what she did to that child. Your parents, you might be angry at, but I guarantee you they will not abandon you. Most situations, they probably won't abandon you. They'll still try to help you. They'll be disappointed in the situation, but they will not abandon you in most cases. If it's by rape, you definitely shouldn't hide it then. Because if you find out you're pregnant because someone raped you, don't be ashamed that you got raped. Because don't be ashamed and don't think that it's your fault. Don't do any of that. Because in this situation, when it happens, I guarantee you, there was nothing you could do in almost every situation. There was rarely ever a situation where you could have avoided it. and you could have prevented it. Because sure, there are times, but you never really know when you never know what's gonna happen. So don't see yourself a victim. If you're raped, especially if you're raped and you become pregnant, don't have that child suffer from an evil person's misdeeds. Don't have a child suffer, which is what happened here. The child suffered. Now I don't know how she got pregnant. They might have said back in an early video, but I didn't hear. But I don't know how she got pregnant. What I do know is she unfortunately made the wrong choice in how to deal with the fact she got pregnant.
On the outside of the door, okay, as long as you promise me you're not gonna hurt yourself. Okay, like I said, this is a lot, I know it is, okay?
By this point in time, Treviso is still losing a lot of blood and has yet to deliver the placenta. She still requires urgent care that Artesia General Hospital isn't equipped to provide, so she's prepped to be airlifted to Lovelace Women's Hospital Labor Delivery Unit. Just before she's loaded into the helicopter, an officer informs Alexi that she's no longer being detained, but that the detectives in charge of the case will be in touch with her.
Okay, Alexi, so obviously you're getting transport, okay? So you're not detained no more. The detectives will be contacting you, okay?
As Alexi is airlifted to Lovelace, a detective approaches her family, who are standing by in the waiting room.
What's gonna go on? Like, what? Can I be with her?
She's getting life-flighted out right now.
Okay.
So they're taking her right now.
Okay.
The detective outlines what happens next for Alexi's family and answers any questions he can. As the stepfather fights back tears, this chest cam footage reveals an interesting wrinkle to the proceedings.
That's her boyfriend.
Devin Fierro, Alexi's boyfriend and the father of the child, is also present.
Mr. Boyfriend, do you have a driver's license?
The detective takes his information and runs it through the database. Later, he admits to being the father.
So, not trying to be rude, but you are more than likely would be the father? Okay.
No, we get it. We get
Sometimes
it.
it happens.
Then the detective speaks with Rosa Rodriguez to try and get a better understanding of what exactly happened. In the ensuing conversation, Rodriguez reveals why Alexi suffering from back and hip pain was such a common occurrence.
Has she been having back pain before?
Yeah, she's pain for her and her hips is no. I mean, she was born with like her. I don't know. It's like crooked.
Her spine?
Okay, because my ex-husband, he hit me. He beat me whenever I was pregnant with her. So she was early. She had some problems with her hips. Like I always had to take her to the chiropractor to get adjusted because she couldn't use it. Like she was always getting constipated. Like she had to get lined up, whatever. So I mean, I've been taking her to chiropractor. I didn't know. I honestly didn't know she was pregnant. I didn't know. I just thought, like she said, I had back pain. Mom, my hips are hurting me. I think I need to go to the chiropractor. I said, okay, let's go tomorrow. But she was like in really a lot of pain and, you know.
A lifetime of back pain stemming from domestic violence while her mother was pregnant with her is not fair to Alexi, but is something she's endured and learned to live with. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case for the unborn child. After that fateful night, months go by as the investigation heats up. The autopsy is carried out, evidence is examined, and detectives sit down with the staff members who were involved in the incident for individual interviews.
When I picked it up,
my brain cannot figure out what to say here. I cannot figure out what to say. Now, that family, okay, let me break this down. Her mom does not like that boyfriend now. I don't know if she blames him for what happened, probably. Them not using protection, that's probably both them agreed to do that. Don't do that because you can end up pregnant. If you don't want to be pregnant, I don't suggest it. Okay, that's just my opinion. If you end up pregnant, because if you don't use protection, you can't. The possibility of being pregnant is there. Getting pregnant is there, so you have to always think about that. I don't know why I'm the guy giving you sex education and thing, but like. Pretty basic stuff. Stuff that I think is taught or it should be. I don't know how. I didn't pay attention enough, and I never went to a class like that at school. I haven't finished high school, so. But I know enough. But if you're the boyfriend, You must be fucking either in disbelief because, hey, you just found out you could have been a father, but you're not. Or you are angry. Because you could have been a father and you're not. Now, I don't know if he knew. I'm going to assume he didn't. I don't think anyone knew. But it's unfortunate if he didn't. I feel like she probably didn't, because I bet you he would have said something, because he seems like a smart man. It's just unfortunate this whole situation happened. Because I don't, so I'm going to assume, so then it wasn't a rape situation. It was consensual sex that just led to her having a child, but she didn't want to tell no one.
That's what I know.
Or she didn't know, but I don't know.
Noticed it even more because all I saw was black and purple, but once we picked it up, like the bag suctioned to his face.
Something's in the trash can. I'm like, I looked in there, there's a clean liner. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, pick it up. I picked it, I could feel the weight. I knew then we had a serious problem. Reason for us to begin any life saving, the baby was completely gone.
Brought the baby up, we called the doctor obviously out of the room from her exam, and we came in, kind of, doc assessed the baby, and
Several nurses make notes that Lissy seemed to be manipulative and was hell-bent on hiding her pregnancy from the world.
it seemed like we were being just deceived from the beginning, but that's just my take on it. It seemed like she was very manipulative with us. It was at least what it seemed like to me. She didn't want you to discover, that she was pregnant, and she wore really baggy clothing.
The umbilical cord looked like an animal had torn it apart. Have you ever eaten string cheese? And when you twist it?
That's the thing. I don't know if she's manipulative, but she really didn't want anyone to know they're pregnant. She was hoping they never found that child. Like, she put that child there and put stuff on top of it, hoping they never find it. If the person who grabbed the thing wasn't really thinking, they might not have. They might not have.
That's how the bottom of the umbilical cord looked, and I just remember it caught my eye, and I was like, God. I was like, this chick really ripped this thing apart.
Chillingly, one nurse stated that neither Alexi nor her mother asked the common questions about the baby that most people would ask.
I was really surprised not one person asked me about the baby. If it was alive, if it was dead, if it was a boy, if it was a girl, no one asked me anything. She didn't even ask. No, she didn't ask. The only thing she started doing was crying and started talking about she didn't know what to do. Not one. I've never seen I've delivered multiple babies and I've seen multiple miscarriages, and I've never seen a reaction like that.
The general consensus among the nurses and staff members who were interviewed is that Treviso was more concerned about being in trouble with her mother than about the well-being of the potential child. Those interviews were conducted on April 26th. Just under a month later, on May 10th, police arrived at Alexi Treviso's place of residence with a warrant for her arrest. Alexi's mother is borderline combative with the detectives and officers. The law enforcement is initially unwilling to divulge the details of the warrant, but Rodriguez's obstinance forces their hand. One count of first-degree murder and another for tampering with evidence. Obviously, these are very serious charges, but Rodriguez continues to ask for the warrant as she calls someone on the phone. It's soon clear that her attempt to hold herself together fails, and she returns to the door pleading with the cops and in tears.
We're not going to be rough with her or anything, we're just going to take her over there and book her.
Please. Listen, ma'am, listen. First-degree murder is a bit excessive. It's a bit excessive because I'd say manslaughter. Like, you have to charge her for the death. Like, she planned the death. I don't think it's murder. First-degree murder. I could say you could do manslaughter. I think that'd be a fair one. I don't think murder would be what I charge her with.
Don't be rough with her.
Maybe I don't know the difference enough, and maybe if someone who does know the difference could tell me why it's better as murder, it probably makes more sense to be murder, because I bet it does. My brain just sees that as a bit excessive for the situation, for the actual situation, because if you put yourself in the mindset in the situation, I think it's a bit excessive. But it could be that I just don't know the law enough to figure out, and maybe if you look at it, it makes more sense that way. That is possible.
Just bring her out, you can be with her the entire time, okay?
You know where the public safety complex is? 3200 West Main?
Eventually, Alexi Treviso appears in the doorway. She submits to her arrest and is transported to the detention center with her mother following closely behind. After she was booked at the detention center, Treviso was released from police custody. Further,
she looks fucking terrified. Which, I mean, you would be too if you were told, hey, we're coming to arrest you for murder. Because even if I was the person themselves, the one like, we'll arrest you for murder, I'm like, that's a bit excessive, isn't it? Like, I get that you have to arrest, because mine was one thing, I get you have to arrest me. You have to arrest me for the situation. It was a child, and it's no longer alive because someone gave, in my case, it'd be my wife or like my partner gave birth and they wanted to hide it and didn't want to get caught. And yes, so we have to go to jail. Arrest. Is murder the one you have to go with? I'd say that's a bit excessive. But I'm not, and they'd be like, "Would you charge?" I'm like, "Charge with manslaughter. I did kill. I caused the death of a person, of the person. I just don't think murder, because to me, murder is like when it's planned. Like that's how I see murder. But maybe it's just my again. This is my dumbass brain. That's probably overthinking everything.
she's been allowed to complete her senior year of high school without any oversight while she awaits her trial, which has been scheduled for October 2nd. Tara Packany met the shock of her life on Wednesday, the 23rd of February of 22. She went downstairs in her home in Green Bay, Wisconsin to check on her son, only to find that he wasn't home. She walked back upstairs and noticed something odd. One of her buckets was covered with a shower towel. When she lifted that towel, she found the severed head of her son, Shad Therian, sitting in the bucket. Shad was only 24 and already his life had been violently ended. The cops saw the gory sight when they arrived at the Pakanich home. The moment Tara Packany pointed out the bucket, the cops walked up, took a look, and a low cuss escaped the officer who flashed his torch into the bucket.
Good.
They went around the house in search of the rest of Shad's remains. The crime scene looked strangely pristine. No splashes of blood on the bed, on the floor, or on the walls. Everything looked clean except for dry blood on the mattresses and the pillows.
Don't tell me it's about to be revealed that this mother took the life of her son. Don't tell me that's what's about to be revealed, because I don't want that to be what's revealed here. Please don't tell me that's revealed.
Hello. The killer had been meticulous with the scene, so much so that it almost looked like nothing happened. After the search, Tara informed the cops that Shad's childhood friend, Taylor Skibbusiness, was the last person to have seen her son alive. Shad and Taylor had known each other since middle school, and at some point they'd been involved in a physical relationship. Cops went on a hunt for Taylor and found her in her home. The first sign that they'd found the culprit was the bloody footprint they encountered near her home.
Hey, who did that?
Oh, it's a bloody foot. Oh, okay, maybe I was wrong. Okay, she was just about to be some. Listen, I don't know what is going on in this relationship, but a relationship has to get to some pretty extreme extent for you to do that. God damn.
Hi, Taylor. How's it going? Officer Russell with the Green Bay Police Department.
They followed the trail and soon had her in handcuffs. They didn't just arrest her. They made her sit on the stairs while they searched her apartment.
Get out of the house. Who else is in the apartment? Be straight up. Tomes? Who else? Just Tomes? Is he armed? Nobody's armed?
Nobody's armed.
You sure?
You can see that wry, carefree smile on her face as she responds to the cops' questions. They didn't find anything in her home, but she had what looked like blood on her hands and on her sweatshirt. She was hurled into an interrogation room for questioning. The officer read her the Miranda rights before the interrogation commenced. There's an unwholesome calmness to her. A relaxed ease that scares you and makes you wonder whether this is the first time she's had a man killed.
Do you understand each of these rights? Realizing that you have these rights, you don't want to answer questions or make a statement. You know Shad? And how do you know Shad?
He's my ex.
Your ex-boyfriend?
The interrogation continues to reveal very disturbing details. Taylor and Shad had returned to his home where they spent the day together as Mrs. Packany was away. As part of their regular foreplay, she said they enjoyed choking each other with a chain. For them, it was a game, something fun.
I know there's this chain.
This is one sick woman. If that's your kink, that's a problem. Okay? As stupid as it might sound, if that is your kink, if you're being choked with a chain is your kink, that's a problem. Because you are putting your life at risk if something goes wrong. Now, she's gonna say that's what happened. Is she choking him with a chain and he died? I don't know where that goes from there to chopping off his head, putting it in the bucket. Bit extreme.
There's this chain thing, right? And, yeah, like I was playing around with it.
Okay.
And like we were smoking in the ditch, right? And then I'm terrible at explaining things, so let's see here. And then here comes the chain, right? And then we put it around his neck. Well, we were like playing around and shit, and then I don't know.
She maintains that Chad liked strangulation, yet one might wonder what sort of chains they've used in the past. Plastic, something soft, or metal. This time they used metal chains, and while Chad lay face down on his bed, Taylor wrapped the chain around his neck and choked him.
And so there was a chain. What kind of chain?
It's the one that's on the same place as where the bitch. And,
Where would that be again?
I think it's on a dresser.
On a dresser?
Is it not? I don't know. Is it on a dresser? I don't know.
I don't know either. I haven't been there. I mean, as best as you can remember. So you think that there could be a chain and the ice on a dresser down in the basement?
It's just weird. I got like a weird flashback.
Instead of stopping as always, she went wild and kept the chain wrapped around his throat until the life drained out of him. You can hear her laugh as she described the ordeal.
I don't even know anymore. Like, it was weird. I was riding him like a donkey, okay? And then, like, I think so. I think that's what was happening. I was like pulling and I don't know.
This woman is not right. That's literally the only way I can say this. How long has this video been going so far? I'm just curious. Oh, we're already at 15 minutes. We still got 20 minutes to go. Let's go for a good lengthy video. But this woman's not right in the head. She isn't. She isn't right. She is. She treats this as if this is no big deal. She has ended the life of someone and she's acting like it's no big deal. That is scary shit. Like, that's scary shit right there.
You two being intimate, having sex?
It was getting there.
Just getting. So would this be considered foreplay?
Yeah. And then, I don't know. And then, I just didn't stop. I don't know why. I didn't stop.
After he had died, she went ahead to decapitate his body, leaving his head in a bucket for his mother to find.
Damn, the head. Yeah, I can't believe I left
Where's the body?
the body there.
So we're gonna take the head somewhere? You liked it?
According to her, she had hoped to properly dismember and keep Chad's body parts, but she'd gotten lazy.
I think it's a foot. A leg, maybe.
I need this girl in a mental institution. This girl cannot ever be even a chance of her living life again. I don't want this woman anywhere near. She is not there. She's gone in a different world. She is not part of today's world. What the fuck is wrong with this woman? This is next level in fucking sanity.
I'm gonna bring it all in there. I'm like, man, this is messy. So I just left it. I got lazy.
Okay.
I got lazy, and that's what I did.
So there's gonna be maybe a foot or a leg in the van. And then,
Yeah.
what did you do with the head?
I forgot that was in the van, so yeah.
What did you do with the head?
The head I put in that bucket, that black bucket.
She described everything, and somehow you begin to notice patterns of premeditation in her words, or worse, words that suggest she may have just done this before. The same thoughts might cross your mind when the detective asks, "So when did you realize that Chad wasn't having fun anymore?" Her response gives you chills. She described how he died, painfully. He even pissed himself. While all these signs of his impending death present...
Yeah, this girl's a serial killer. I'm sorry, she's a serial killer. This woman has killed people before. This is not the first time. You are not this calm after your first kill. Unless you're like Stephen McDaniel. He's the only one, but he's not all there. He's fucking going in the head, so was she.
And clearly to her, she didn't stop. Instead, she held on until Shad breathed his last.
I'm just like, shit. I think I went a little too far, because I was blacking out while I was doing it, right? And then and then I look at him, I'm like, shit, he's already crippled. I'm like, I don't know if he's fucking, is he good? But then when I woke up, during the blackout, I'm like, shit.
When asked if she planned to kill Shad, she said it was completely random and unpremeditated.
Did you want Shad to be dead?
No, it was out of random. I wasn't expecting that, and it kind of threw me off guard. And it was in an open place and all that. You went in the basement, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty open.
Why have I done it? But is it?
Yeah. So it was weird. It was really weird. And you open the door to the outside. And you go down the stairs, and it's right there. You can see everything. I was ready to go down the stairs.
Whether it was the numerous drugs they'd ingested and injected into their systems or something else, Taylor attempts to exonerate herself with a confusing statement about her state of mind.
That's how messed up my head was. I was really messed up. I don't know what was going on. I was just going crazy. And then, I don't know what was going on at all, because this, I think it was the open area. I wasn't in a room by myself. There was no door, it's an open area.
Here's another reason to think this murder wasn't just as random as she says. The police had gone through her search history and found a search she'd entered on her search engine. Jeffrey Dahmer walking into court all sexy. She enjoyed her evil a little too much and had made sure to turn it into a cruel game. She was sentenced to life in prison as the state of Wisconsin doesn't have the death penalty. Here's one of her more
do you know what? Life in prison is fine, but she can never be out in public again. That's all I need. I need to know, for the sake of the humans, that she is not there. There are others out there, I know, but she is one of those people I found that I need to know will never be free again.
Disturbing comments to the cops. She asked them, "Do you know what it's like to love something so much that you kill it?" The story of Lisa Knox Edward is one of the strangest in the history of modern policing. This 60-year-old woman actually died while in the custody of Knoxville, Tennessee police. How it happened, as well as any possible wrongdoing or negligence on behalf of the officers, remains a subject of debate to this day. A police officer arrived at Fort Sanders Regional Medical.
I can't do this one. I can't. I've seen this one before. It hurts too much. This one annoys me too much. I can't. Is this the last one? No, okay, there's one more. Okay. I have to do it. I have to, but...
Center in response to a woman who was reportedly refusing to leave hospital property. The officer first asked the woman if the hospital staff had in fact asked her to leave.
Did the hospital ask you to leave?
She answers yes, but says she's unable to move properly. The police officer continues to tell her that she needs to leave.
You gotta leave though, they want you gone.
I know I can't even get to the door.
You can't get where? You can't get to where?
I can't get back up there.
They don't want you back up there, they want you to leave their property.
The woman is 60-year-old Lisa Edwards, a former Knoxville resident who had recently moved from Tennessee to Rhode Island but was back visiting family. What the officer doesn't know, and what Miss Edwards is not accurately explaining, is that she suffered a stroke in August of 2019. This left her partially paralyzed and unable to use her left side.
I understand you say you got some problems going on.
Yeah, so that's an immediate reason why she can't leave. She can't get up and go. She's paralyzed. She can't move her left side, so she needs help getting places. But that's not made clear to them, because that would hopefully cause them to treat her differently, because they'd understand. Now, the fact is, if I saw a 60-year-old woman saying she can't walk really, and it's hard for her to get out of there, you'd think you wouldn't be just screaming, well, you gotta leave. You'd be like, kind of figure out, like, okay, how can we make it so if she doesn't have anything, because if she walked in there and she's fine and needs to leave, but she just doesn't want to, maybe she doesn't want to go home or something, we gotta make sure she goes home. Right? But don't treat her as if she should just be able to get up and leave. If we don't know that, she's 60-something years old. Like most, like not a lot of 6-year-olds who can just like get up and go about their days and fucking run, jump, and hip and flip all around here. Like,
you're gonna have to find a way to get out of here. Okay? I don't want this to turn into a situation where you have to go to jail. If you're looking for somewhere to go because you're cold.
She finally tells the officer that she can't walk properly due to her stroke and an ankle injury, but he ignores her and asserts that if the hospital kicked her out, she must have been giving them problems.
what that's called is ignorance. If someone tells you I can't leave, is even if she's fine, I can't leave because I'm paralyzed on one side and I have an ankle which makes me unable to walk. Why is your response, oh, you still need to leave? Do you not listen and listen to it? You're an officer just trying to be a dickhead officer. You want to assert your authority here. You got a 6-year-old woman wants to get. You're already thinking about throwing her in jail. That's what makes this even more insane. You have walked up to the 6-year-old woman with the goal in your mind, and in the vision you have in your head is taking her to jail. You cannot tell me that's what their thought process was to take this woman to jail. They just had to find a reason to. Because you don't walk up to an old woman and maybe go, you need to leave or I'm taking you to jail. That's not what your first thought is to an old woman. If that is, you are a shitty police officer. You are an actually legitimate shitty police officer. Because if that's not how you should be treating elders. This 6-year-old woman should have been told, okay. Because this is what you should have done. Should have first asked thing, saying, hey, were you told to leave? Yes. What the first thing you should have done is before you even think was, because she ain't gonna go nowhere, right? She ain't gonna go nowhere. Because here's the part it's weird, right? She said they must have been giving you must be giving them. So you don't even know the story of what happened. Because that's the first thing I want to gather. I want to gather what's the story of the problem. What's the situation that I'm dealing with? Why is she has to leave? Is she causing problems? Is she, has she attacked anyone? Has she, is she, just been checked out but refuses to leave? What's causing her not to want to leave? Situation number 1. Number 2, if the case is she just needs to, it's actually she's fine and she needs to leave. Because if they're refusing to check on her, the least you could do as an officer is actually defend her. You're 60-year-old, listen. She's 60 years old. She's feeling pain. She's having trouble breathing. We don't know what she's dealing with. So she's 60 years old. Can you just do a quick check? Just do a check, go through the test, make sure she's fine. We'll sit here. If she has nothing wrong with her, if everything's fine, and there's no problem she has, we will then make sure she leaves. Because the least you could do is make sure she gets checked. Because it's the one time she does it. It's this example. It's the one time they don't. When they need to get checked and you refuse to do it and the police refuse to help you, it's that one time you don't, where you end up in police custody. And you end up dead in police custody. This all could have been prevented. Now, I don't know where the debate is on if there's negligence. 100% there's negligence here. But it's just figuring out who to negligence, because there's definitely there's negligence from somebody for the bad way this woman's being treated already. Because like I've said, they made it clear. I've already got in my head. This guy was, the guy whose body cam we're watching, his goal was to want to take her into custody.
Shattered my ankle and I had a stroke.
Well, if the medical professionals have saw you and discharged you,
They won't.
I got nothing to do with that then, but you gotta get going.
Upon suffering abdominal pains on the plane, she'd been taken to the emergency room but later released, leading to her current situation.
I can't even get down here.
Okay, so here's another example. So she dealt with pain, she went to emergency room. The emergency room people checked on her, saw nothing wrong, sent her on her way. At the end of the day, they didn't know what could happen afterwards, okay? They didn't know what, let's say they got that story. Then your job is to maybe figure out why she hasn't left. Maybe she got off a plane. She doesn't know where to go. Maybe. Second reason could be, Second reason could be she doesn't know she can't just get up and leave. Maybe help her. Maybe see what you can do. See, maybe, let's say she has things. She can't get up and walk, right? She can't go get up and walk. Let's say she lives in the area. Just can't get up and walk. Can you call a cab? Have her call a cab, or you call a cab, have a hospital, have someone call a cab. And you three stay there and help her get in the cab. And maybe make sure because I'm going to assume she doesn't live alone. I hope she doesn't at this age. If that's the case, have her call her family, nursing home, wherever she lives, and have them be like, hey, she's going to be coming back in a cab. Can you help her get to where she needs? Help her get in. Can you all be watching for her? We had to help her get in the cab. Can you help her make sure she gets back into a place safely? Then once you get her in, the cab leaves. That's your part done. That's the police's part done. After that, what happens there could have been thing. Because let's say if she died in a cab, if she would have died in a cab, at least in that situation, it could be she was checked, so maybe the nurses made a mistake. Maybe the hospital's the problem. We don't know how the hospital treated her. What I do know is the police ain't treating her right? This should not be our police or dealing with the situation.
You're going to have to figure out a way to get going.
I can't do it.
So you're saying that you're going to go to jail?
Can you call the preacher for me?
Who?
The preacher. I guess it was preacher.
No, ma'am, you have a phone right there.
I don't know the number.
Well, how am I supposed to know the number to call the preacher then if you don't know the number?
At this point, they also discover that the wheelchair belongs to the hospital and she can't use it to assist herself in leaving.
It's the hospital's wheelchair.
Well, you're going to have to get up and figure out a way to get going.
Police, you're idiots. Police, do you think she can just get up and leave? She is to... Why do this happen? Police! Can you please stop being idiots? Can you please stop being ignorant assholes? I am begging. I will get down on my knees and beg you to stop being such ignorant fucking assholes. To stop being such fools. This is such an easy situation to understand, yet there's a reason I wanted to skip this one, because it pisses me off. This is such an easy situation to understand, respectfully deal with, and get through. Yet somehow you have missed the ballpark the entire way. You have fucked up the entire way. How far as long do I have to keep dealing with this one? I still gotta deal with this for another 10 minutes, and I'm gonna end up losing my mind during the whole thing. I've never had police this is a different type of making me angry. Because this is such a situation where you so easily could deal with the situation. Why does no one here have any form of respect in this thing? Where would this, I don't know where this happened. I want to know. I want to know where this happened, because this is making me so mad.
I can't. Can I come in and try my phone number again?
She repeatedly claims that she can't leave, which the officer interprets as she will not leave.
Please don't hurt me no more, so.
I don't know how you look at a 67-year-old woman and somehow treat them like they're 30. If this person was 30 years old, maybe you somewhat get it better. Because you'd think a 30-year-old could get up and walk and go about their many business. So unless they make it clear what happened, you would think probably they could easily get up. I don't know how you look at a 67-year-old woman and go, you should be able to just get up and walk. You're lying about everything. You don't have no physical condition. Like, I'm so fucking confused on what the ignorance of these officers. These officers should not be working in police. They're clearly not meant to be. There really is a part of me that really wants to make a t-shirt that just says "Do Better Police," but there's no way I trust that the police would not fuck with anyone who's wearing the t-shirt just to fuck with them. Like, not even if they're doing anything. There'd probably be some people who just gonna... Like, I'd see body cam footage of someone I feel who was wearing my t-shirt that just gets arrested. Because they're wearing a t-shirt and they're coming up with something. There's so part of me, though, that wants to make that t-shirt.
Okay, I'm done talking to him. You start talking nonsense like that, I'm done with you. You'll go to jail.
Boy, Bravo, can you have the wagon seen over here?
The cop calls for police transport wagons for Edwards. As he waits for the wagon to arrive, he gets her information and decides to put her under arrest for criminal trespassing charges.
Give me your info.
I'm skipping this part. I can't watch this. I literally just can't watch this. I need to wait till after the transport part. Okay, let's...
Cops to take her to the hospital, but receives no assistance as the cops begin driving her to the detention center. She asks the cop to stop and pull her up so she can breathe more easily, but he refuses. While en route to the detention facility, the cop transporting Edwards stops to assist someone on the side of the highway. Upon returning from his conversation, he finds Lisa Edwards fully unresponsive in the back seat. They try several times to get her to respond, but she can't. At this point, the officers have...
This is what we call negligence. I skipped the main part where they throw it away because I can't watch it. I cannot watch it. It hurts me too much to watch it. But this is not... This is complete negligence. How is argued? I don't understand. This is negligence at its finest.
No choice but to call for medical assistance. EMTs arrived shortly after the officer called for them and transported Edwards back to the hospital she had just left. She died there the next day. According to the autopsy, Lisa Edwards died of an ischemic stroke due to an atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. They also mentioned she had a number of other comorbidities at the time of her death, including COPD and acute bronchitis. Despite the best efforts of the questionable police department to keep much of the video out of the spotlight, Edwards' son and daughter-in-law worked hard to get the video released to the public. There were even marches and vigils held in Miss Edwards' honor. After an investigation, the cops involved were all suspended without pay for several days, while one was demoted from his rank of sergeant.
Suspended for several days without pay? Oh, fucking what a shame. Fire them!
This is the eye-popping case of Chad Doberman, and a disturbing case for Claremont officers in the Monroe Township community who were left heartbroken by the murder of 3 kids in one household. On June 15th of 2023, Claremont officers responded to an
My plan was to go eat dinner after this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to get some of these out of my head.
SOS call from the fire department after a young woman reported that her father was shooting everyone in Monroe Township, 75 miles west of Columbus.
Can you tell how many people have been shot?
I think 2 children.
Okay. All right. I need. What was
that I've seen?
There's a girl running down the street saying that her stepfather is killing everyone in her family.
And what did the female say to you?
And she says that her stepfather is killing everybody in her house.
Did you say how or what was happening?
I asked her to get in the car with me, and she said she couldn't leave her family.
The girl said her father had shot all the members of the family, throwing the officers into overdrive as they raced down to the scene.
There's a male actively shooting at the firehouse.
What they need is a gory scene, littered with lifeless bodies of kids lying around the yard. There were 3 of them, all below the age of 11 and all children of the same man, Chad Doberman. As officers approach the yard, they yell for Chad to stand and place his hands on his head.
Stand up! Stand up now! Stand up! Stand the fuck up!
But he remains calm, sitting like he hadn't heard them. He looked completely unbothered, like he's waiting to get arrested. That's the horrifying bit of this experience. The carefree attitude and the quiet disregard that simply scares you to your bones. How could a man who's just killed 3 innocent boys sit down there like everything was right with the world? As if they're also irritated as the viewers, the officers haul Chad to the ground and lock him in cuffs. The cops quickly check the kids before inviting emergency services, but it was already too little too late as
I would be way more aggressive with him. He wouldn't even... That would be one of those cases... This would be one of those cases where they'd be able to question police brutality, because I'd want to beat the fucking shit out of him if I was an officer. I couldn't hold my composure. Not once.
the children are all dead.
Get the EMS over here.
Chad is unbelievable as this sound tries to convince them that his clean record says otherwise. He says, I've not been doing drugs, I've not hurt anyone, I won't hurt anyone.
Man, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I'm completely sober. I don't do drugs now. I'm sober. I'm not trying to fight you.
While he's on the ground, Chad tries to assure the police officers that he wouldn't harm them, but the gory sight made the cops view Chad as a very dangerous individual and they treated him as such.
Gotta roll over. I ain't gonna hurt you. I ain't gonna hurt nobody. You got anything on you? No, I ain't got nothing, man. Phone, that's it. I ain't mad. I ain't nothing. Just make sure that dog goes.
What type of fucking person says I ain't gonna hurt no one after what you just done? Brother, you've hurt everyone. I wish that, he's gonna get life in prison. That's what he's gonna get. I want him to get death. That's what I want. He deserves that.
Come out, I don't think he'll bite you. Just don't reach for him and try to grab him and pet him. Alright. He won't bite you.
What's going on, man?
Nothing. Can I stand up? It's kind of uncomfortable.
I'm gonna
I
get
ain't
you
gonna
here
do
in a
nothing. I ain't
second.
running away. You can do whatever you want.
You the only one else inside the house?
What?
You the only one else inside the house?
Yeah.
Sit down right here.
My daughter, she ran over to the fire department.
Sit down.
It's my stepdaughter.
Put him in that cage.
Mr. Will.
Chad did fail to listen to the officer's request earlier to put his hands in the air, but his hands were visible and he shouldn't be perceived as a threat, but the cops viewed him as a threat and hurled him to the ground like he's some bag of beans. Right beside him on the ground was the Marlin Model HC-22 rifle.
No, don't you tell me he shouldn't have been taken as a threat. He absolutely should. I would have thrown him to the ground just out of principle of what he did. Oh, this man shot David J. Fuck you, I ain't gonna treat you like you're just a normal criminal. No, you should be treated as a threat immediately because you don't know what you could do in that quick time.
He'd used to end his kids. As he's being led to the car, Chad asks that the officers take out his wallet. To this request, the cops hush him.
Can you get the wallet out of my back pocket? Shut up, dude.
However, before he's placed in the car, he's checked again and his wallet is removed at his request. The kids who lost their lives at the hand of their own father are 7-year-old Clayton Doberman, 4-year-old Hunter Doberman, and 3-year-old Chase Doberman. Investigations did not find the reason behind his actions, but he pleaded guilty to the accusations and is being held without bail in Claremont County Jail. His court case started the very next day, and the judge ordered that he be held in Claremont County Jail on a $20 million cash bond. He's facing 21 charges, including 9 counts of aggravated murder, 8 counts of kidnapping, and 4 counts of felonies. As he was being led into the police precinct, he's oddly calm. He waits by a wall while the officers sort out details over the counter.
What's your name? Chad. Chad. What's your last name? Gorman. Dorman. Have you ever been here before?
One time for fight with Dad.
He looked drowsy standing there, looking uncomfortable in the handcuffs. He paces a little and suddenly he begins to hit his head on the wall.
Don't be doing that, man. Don't be beating your head on the wall, okay?
Yeah.
The officers quickly warn him not to do that. There's no sign of struggle from Chad. He simply watches calmly and responds in a low voice whenever the cops ask a question.
Do you have any weapons or drugs on you? No. Anything that's gonna put...
I want to be in his head right now. Even though it's an evil, sick, twisted, fucked up mindset, this man. I have to know what he's thinking. Is he all there? Is he gone? What the fuck? What the fuck causes you to do this? I fucking don't get it.
Can you stick me or hurt me? No. Put your hands up right here. Do a pat down. Do everything on your body.
Some minutes later, he's searched and led into a cell.
Take your belt off. You see the mama's foot? Bend it up here to me. Alright, we're going to step straight up to the counter, in front of that blue bag there to the left. Is he getting evidence bags or push? See your hands.
I'm gonna take this cuff off. Put your hand up here, palm down, okay? Same with this one.
All throughout this, Chad is fully cooperative and speaks respectfully to the officers. He looks incapable of causing harm, and it makes you wonder, what really happened? So what made him do it? How did he do it?
I want to know.
Investigation.
I don't need to know how he did it. I want to know what made him do it.
Is never told on the first questions, but some unsettling details have emerged showing how the murders were carried out. Apparently, Chad had been planning the act for months. He'd been set on killing his own kids since October of 22. The court documents say that Chad didn't sleep at home for 4 days leading up to the murders. Then he showed up that morning and called his boys and his wife, 34, to the master bedroom to join him for a nap. When they were settled in,
Okay, listen, I don't want to sound like, I don't care, like, what the fuck, like, this already is fucked up. What type of sleep and nap is that?
Chad pulled out a Marlin Model HC-22 rifle from the gun safe and loaded it. In the living room of that same house on the Lauren Lindell Road, his 12-year-old stepdaughter was watching TV. The family was thrown into confusion the moment the first 2 bullets went off. The girl appeared in the doorway and his wife screamed at the other boys to run while trying to help one Chad had shot. Lauren ran with the second boy, but Chad chased them and shot him twice, once from afar and the second at close range. The girl got hold of the third boy and ran, but Chad threatened her with the gun and commanded her to put him down. The moment she put the boy down, he shot him.
Wait, why would you listen to her? To him? He's clearly killing people. Why on earth would you take his command? Don't put your... Fuck, I'd rather get shot than have my kids get shot.
After carrying out his mission, Chad sat by the steps, his rifle beside him. He seemed to have been waiting. In a court statement, Chad admits to the crime, confessing that he shouldn't have done that. What could have come over him at that moment that he'd look at such lovely boys and snuff the life out of them like that? Until the full details of the investigation are released to the public, there's just no way of knowing what was going on in his mind.
This is one of the most insanely evil fucking human beings I have ever experienced in my entire life. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought of this video in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.